Goeiedag iedereen. I'm the Trini-Dutchman, and then today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Book of Joy. I'm going to do the book review that I had promised that I was going to do for the last couple of weeks, or the last week anyways, and tell you a little bit about it. And I want to start off by saying that this is going to be a glowing review for this book. This book has been an excellent book, but I will of course show, and discuss some of the parts that may not appeal to some people, because of course a book review can't be 100% positive. I do want to start off with the disclaimer by saying that neither the Dalai Lama nor Archbishop Desmond Tutu had paid me for this review. This is completely out of my own volition, and hopefully it'll help you with your journey, if you're looking for a spiritual journey or you're just looking to try to find some more joy in your life. So just to talk to you a little bit about it, it's an interfaith dialogue book. So basically, as you know, Archbishop Desmond Tutu is a Christian. He's of the Anglican faith, and the Dalai Lama is a Tibetan Buddhist. But the cool thing about this book, for the most part anyways, is that at least it's trying to be universal to anyone. So it could be open, it could be useful for atheists, it could be useful for Jews, for Muslims, for Hindus, for anyone that is not of these two faiths. I will admit, I learned tons from this book. For example, they talk about how to use humor in situations that diffuse certain things, and they bring up a couple of really pretty funny anecdotes. For example, the Dalai Lama says to Archbishop Desmond Tutu, if there is Jesus Christ and there's God, and you pass away first and then I pass away afterwards, the Dalai Lama says, can you please put in a good word with Saint Peter at the gates of heaven to let me in. As you know, in Christianity, it's said that Saint Peter decides who gets into heaven and who doesn't, so they just kind of crack jokes back and forth. It is quite comedic. I will admit that if you are not a Christian or you're not a Buddhist, at certain times when it starts to get into some of the religious aspects, you may not really feel a connection, so just wanted to throw that out there. But if you can get through that and kind of plow through that, you will find the book extremely, extremely useful. Talks about things like grief, how to deal with grief. Right now I'm going through some really difficult times, and it's been a source of strength. It talks about forgiveness, which is something that I think is super useful, about how to forgive people. And apparently Archbishop Desmond Tutu wrote a book on forgiveness, so I will definitely check that out in the path that you have to go through. The way that I look at this particular book, and of course I'm not trying to compare my situation to theirs, because we just live different lives completely, but if the Archbishop Desmond Tutu could live through the apartheid and forgive, and if the Dalai Lama can forgive, like in his situation, then I think definitely they have a message worth listening to. So there you have it. This is the Trini-Dutchman, giving this a complete thumbs up, glowing review. Amazing book, definitely worth checking out. If you want to borrow it from me and you live in Ottawa, just let me know, drop me a line. I have it on audio CD. As I've mentioned before, I have ADHD, so for me, reading a book can be very, very daunting and very difficult. And of course, reading it and, while I'm working out, I guess listening to it, not technically reading it, has proven to be very, very useful. Alors c'est ça, voilà, en français, juste un petit mot pour vous dire que je recommande très fortement ce livre-là, le livre de la joie. Je pense que ça a été traduit aussi en français, donc si ça vous intéresse, vous pouvez toujours l'acheter sur Amazon.ca si vous vivez au Canada, et si vous vivez ailleurs, comme aux États-Unis ou en Europe, vous pouvez, je pense, le commander en ligne sur Amazon.fr. So there you have it. Tot de volgende keer. And ik wens jullie een heel fijne dag. Dag! From the Trini-Dutchman with much love. Bye.